It was 2:45 in the morning. I had just started my truck when I noticed something was wrong. Someone had been under my hood. By sunrise, I would know exactly who did it. And by the end of the week, I'd be watching their pride and joy get ripped apart by a crane. And the best part, they never saw it coming. Chapter 1. The 2:45 a.m. shock. There's something different about the air at 2:45 in the morning. It's so still that the smallest sound cuts through like a knife. That morning, the sound was my own truck rumbling to life, and the deafening metallic rasp that followed. I froze. My stomach dropped. I knew that sound. The hollow, choking roar of an engine missing its catalytic converters. I slid out of the driver's seat, crouched low, and looked underneath. Sure enough, clean cuts where the converters used to be. In that moment, anger wasn't even the right word. It was violation. They hadn't just stolen metal, they'd stolen my peace of mind. Chapter 2. The idiots who got caught on camera, I did what any sane person would do. I went hunting for answers. Luckily for me, my neighbor had security cameras. And the idiots? They didn't even try to hide. There they were, two local punks, pulling up in a beat-up old Ford Crown Victoria, paint peeling, taillights dead, engine rattling like an old tin can. They might have thought they were some kind of outlaw duo, but they were just two broke kids in a wannabe cop car. And just like that, I had them. Chapter 3. My choice, police or payback. I could have just called the cops. But where's the satisfaction in that? Instead, I called a friend who works in code enforcement. I told him exactly what I had in mind. And let's just say, when I explained my plan, he laughed. Then he said the words I wanted to hear. Do it, and I'll make sure the cops are in the loop. Chapter 4. The Setup C. Their Crown Vic wasn't street legal. No plates, no insurance. Taillights busted. The thing was a hazard on wheels. And most importantly, they loved to park it in random quiet streets when they weren't joyriding or hanging out at the local chicken shack, smoking who knows what all day. So I waited. Patience isn't just a virtue. It's a weapon. Chapter 5. The moment arrives. One afternoon, there it was. The Crown Vic, sitting all alone on a side street. I made the call. My contact gave me the green light for a nuisance tow. When the tow truck hooked it up, I didn't take it to some impound lot. Oh no. I took it straight to the police station. Chapter 6. The bombshell. The cops ran the VIN number, and that's when the fun really started. Turns out the car hadn't been registered since 2011. The person on the title? Not even the kids. It was some guy who had sold it without the title because the back registration fees were through the roof. The police told me, "We can have it sent to the junkyard and file for a certificate of destruction." That was music to my ears. Chapter 7. Their Desperate Search. By now, word must have gotten back to them that their precious Crown Vic was missing. I heard later that they were running all over town thinking one of their buddies had stolen it as a prank. They didn't know the truth, that their car was sitting in a junkyard with a big red X on its fate. And just in case they tried anything, the junkyard had taken precautions. They cut the drive shaft clean off. Chapter 8. The pathetic finale. They finally found it. And instead of cutting their losses, they went full stupid. One of them tried distracting the junkyard owner while the other tried to hotwire it. But the junkyard was ready. Police were called. They were arrested right there, standing in front of their half-dead car. And then came the real finale. Chapter 9. The Crushing Moment. I didn't get to see it live, but when I heard what happened, I drove by the next day to see the remains. The junkyard had used a crane to tear it apart, ripping it to the bare frame like a toddler dismantling a toy out of boredom. Twisted metal, wires hanging like veins, a monument to stupidity. Chapter 10. The aftermath. They got out of jail eventually, but I've barely seen them since. They just hide in their trailer, sulking. And when I drove by recently, I spotted another junker in their driveway, a Jeep Liberty with no plates. And let's just say, next time I see it on the street, I'm not missing the show. Watching their little kingdom crumble, knowing they thought they were untouchable, and then seeing them left with nothing. That's not just justice, that's art. Sometimes revenge isn't about rage. It's about patience, precision, and making sure they feel every ounce of the loss they caused you. And these two? They learned the hard way. If this story made you smile, smash that like button and subscribe for more satisfying tales of karma. And tell me in the comments, what's the most poetic revenge you've ever seen?